Like us, celebrities aren't immune to the highs and lows of love. In fact, some of the world's biggest names like Kim Kardashian and Taylor Swift have opened up about some of their major relationship regrets over time. So stay tuned for today's Where Are They Now countdown of the top 10 celebrities who instantly regretted their marriages. Did we miss a famous face on this list? Share your responses with us below and let's jump right in. In our 10th spot, Kim Kardashian. Taking away the fact that we can list Kim's name here several times, one of Kim's arguably biggest regrets was her marriage to Ye. Outside of their 4 beautiful children, Kim and her ex-husband saw so many ups and downs that it's hard for fans to even remember their better days. Especially given Ye's public spiral is unfortunately what forced Kim to file for divorce in the first place. Most recently, the Skims founder briefly disclosed how she felt regarding her former marriage during a season 1 episode of her and her family's newest Hulu series. From the trailer for the upcoming 3rd season, it seems she'll be giving us all the intimate details. But back in the first run, Kim ranted to Khloe during a scene about how she was ready to move forward from her and Ye's split. Even though she and Ye went through so much trouble, most notably towards their final few years, Kim once argued that her biggest regret was that she didn't settle down with Ye faster. On her estranged ex, Kim recalled to Glamour back in 2015, "We were friends for so long and knew each other for almost 10 years, but there was a moment in my mind that clicked when I was like, I'm going to give this a shot. I went through so many mistakes that must have hurt Kanye, watching me get married, knowing that's not the right situation for you. So it was a great feeling when I was finally like, okay, this is it. It would have saved so much BS. I should have had even higher expectations because I got the fairy tale." Sadly, we know her fairy tale had its expiration date awaiting her years later. Before we jump into number 9, like today's Where Are They Now to show support for our growing channel. In our 9th spot, Taylor Swift. Now we know Taylor sort of misses the mark here since she and Joe Alwyn were only engaged, but surely the songstress has a ton of regrets harbored up that we'll soon hear about in some of her future song lyrics. The end of their love story came to a startling close after 6 years of dating, with a couple of months of those being rumoredly engaged. Similar to sources who revealed Joe allegedly dropped on one knee during a romantic getaway to give his hand to Taylor, an insider reportedly tight-knit with the Grammy winner and actor formally told People how Taylor and Joe's split was heavily influenced by differences in their personalities, supposedly worsened by Taylor's level of fame. Like everything else lately, Taylor has refrained from publicly commenting on their breakup. However, various fans of the singer believe Taylor alluded to their separation during her recent Eras tour, where she reportedly switched Invisible String, the song fans believe Taylor penned for Joe as her soulmate for The One, which is a breakup tune about wishfully working things out with an ex. In our 8th spot, Kris Jenner. Kim is not the only Kardashian with a regretful past when it comes to her former marriage. Similar to her daughter, momager Kris is thankful for all that came after her late ex-husband, Robert Kardashian. But Kris couldn't help but admit how she would redo everything in a heartbeat if given the chance. Once stating, quote, "The one regret if I had to do it over would be divorcing Robert. But then there wouldn't have been Kendall and Kylie, so that's the way I look at it." The former KUWTK star previously informed New You of this while referencing her 2 daughters she shares with ex-Caitlyn Jenner. She finalized by telling the outlet, "Everything happens for a reason and we learn from our mistakes. I thought I was so smart when I was young, I was fearless." In our 7th spot, Gweynth Paltrow. This Goop founder doesn't specifically have one specific relationship regret, so to say. She once revealed such in a 2017 episode of the podcast Girl Boss, admitting, "I've effed up so many relationships. I'm actually a pretty good friend, sister, daughter, and mother, but I'm at my potentially most vulnerable and effed up in the romantic slice of the pie. So it's taken me a lot of work to get to the place where I have a good romantic relationship." However, if we take a look at one for instance, Gwyneth's most notable separation would be between her and Chris Martin, who she shared a marriage with for over a decade before their famous 2014 separation announcement. In a personal essay after their split, Gwyneth aired out the moment the realization hit her that she and Chris' relationship was done, and advised couples who were open to following in their footsteps. Gwyneth even discussed how the ex-couple navigated their conscious uncoupling, opening up about all the reasons behind her divorce from the Coldplay singer during her 2015 Marie Claire interview. Quote, "I had built my life on trying to be all things to all people, but I just couldn't do it anymore. I really had the sense that I wasn't allowed to have needs and had to prove my specialness or self-worth by doing all this stuff and taking care of everybody else. And I just sort of hit a wall." Overall, the pair were able to find a civil place as friends, and Gwyneth lastly expressed during her 2016 Glamour interview how she and Chris were still very much a family, even though we don't have a romantic relationship. He's like my little brother. In our 6th spot, Katy Perry. Katy and Russell Brand's divorce was extremely messy, so it wasn't all that surprising when Katy reportedly dished her feelings about the events in the 2012 film Katy Perry Part of Me. At one point the singer said, "I thought to myself, when I find that person that's going to be my life partner, I won't ever have to choose. I have that same belief system with everything from career to life to my personal life, everything. And I will do everything it takes not to fail." And I did, but it still failed. She was apparently referencing the fact that she reportedly felt she had to constantly pick and choose between her career and Russell, among other things. At this point, Katy also informed NTV News that even though she faced the difficulties when it came to the sore subject of her divorce, she still kept Russell in her film in hopes that she could inspire her fans to also push through their own difficulties in life. On this, Katy revealed, "In my personal struggle, you see me not changing and not giving up on this dream I've had my whole life. Hopefully people are inspired by that." Oppositely, Russell acknowledged his own personal feelings that he claimed didn't just disappear for him after they split. The actor opened up about how he still felt about his ex-wife during a 2017 episode appearance on the UK talk show John Bishop in Conversation With, detailing, "I have come away from that experience and I still feel very warm towards her. When I hear about her or see her, I think, there's that person in the world." In our 5th spot, Mariah Carey. Mariah once noted how she didn't ever believe she and comedic actor Nick Cannon would divorce. Mariah spilled a lot of truths about her relationship downfalls with Nick in a 2016 Complex interview. After the 2008 ceremony and followed by their 2 beautiful children, the couple confirmed they were separating in 2014. The divorce was finalized 2 years after. About this, Mariah stated, "I never thought I would have babies with someone and then get divorced. Like, oh great, repeat your past. But life happens. It was supposed to happen. It's fine. I wish it hadn't happened that way. Guess it's over. Call it a day." At the time, Mariah also iconically sang John Mathis and Denise Williams' "Too Much, Too Little, Too Late." On Nick's end, he claims his brush with marriage to Mariah turned him into a commitment non-believer. He hashed out his post-divorce feelings during his 2020 Entertainment Weekly interview, adding, "My mindset has changed. I have done that. I don't like doing things that I am not good at." In our 4th spot, Drew Barrymore. Drew once admitted how badly she struggled with feelings of shame amid her divorce from Will Kopelman. Drew and Will went on quite the journey together, as their time together marked Will's first marriage and Drew's 3rd. The two welcomed 2 beautiful kids before they officially separated in 2016. That year, the ex-couple released a joint statement via People magazine to announce the unfortunate news. Then, later on, Drew touched on the topic of her divorce from Will on an episode of the Netflix series Chelsea, saying, "When you break up with somebody, you're like, yeah, that didn't work. When you get divorced, you're like, I'm the biggest failure. This is the biggest failure. It's so shameful and hard to go through that, even privately." In our 3rd spot, Reese Witherspoon. Reese and Ryan Phillippe's on-set fairy tale led to a straight divorce, and Reese once opened up about her struggles to reconcile with that separation during a 2008 Parade magazine interview. Speaking on the negative effects their split had on Reese, the actress explained for the magazine, "There are things in my life that are hard to reconcile, like divorce. Laying blame is so easy. I don't have time for hate or negativity in my life. There's no room for it. When you make wrong choices, you have to take responsibility for them. What part of this do I own?" 2008 was also the year Reese sat down with W magazine to speak about Ryan, informing the world, "It was a struggle. There were a good 4 or 5 months of not being able to get out of bed. It was the worst time in my life. You get through it. It's a process that's not easy, but I get less and less sad about it every day." Then in 2009, Reese disclosed even more about how her divorce was affecting her, telling Elle magazine how the events were all very humiliating and very isolating. She continued by recalling, "But by the way, if it's not painful, maybe it wasn't the right decision to marry to begin with. Those are appropriate emotions." In our 2nd spot, Kelly Clarkson. Back when Kelly divorced Brandon Blackstock, she stated she felt she couldn't be truly open about their split. While in a 2020 interview with the Los Angeles Times, Kelly once admitted she had hoped to keep the details about her divorce from Brandon as a private matter. While they were official in 2012, the pair didn't tie the knot until the year after, and Kelly filed for separation back in 2020. Kelly's reasoning behind keeping the divorce details on hush mode was to protect her and Brandon's 2 kids, as well as Brandon's additional 2 children from his previous marriage. "I'm a very open person, but I'm not going to be able to be truly open about this in certain aspects because there's kids involved. involved, Kelly once stated on the matter. She then added, "There are a lot of little hearts involved in this, and while people feel, oh my gosh, what a loss, imagine how it is in the epicenter of the storm." And in our first spot, Nikki Bella. Similar to Taylor Swift, Nikki and John Cena were merely engaged. The ex-pair's 1-year engagement and 6-year relationship were announced to have ended via an April 2018 joint statement, initially tweeted out by Bella. Down the road, the actor penned how she truly felt concerning her split at the time in her 2020 memoir, Incomparable. She wrote about her ex-fiancé, "I have many regrets about that relationship. The primary one is that I wish I'd known myself better before I got into it. I wish I'd understood how the patterns in my life and my relationship with my own father informed how I react to love, boundaries, and feelings of abandonment. I think I could have averted some of what happened." On top of this, Nikki packed on, "Because my dad left when I was 15, I learned how to fill in the holes. I expect to be left behind and to find a way to not confront or acknowledge those feelings of loneliness and abandonment." That's been today's WATN. I've been your host, Michaela, and thanks for watching, friends.